Something that a lot of women struggle with but don't often talk about is sexuality. And just today, I had a conversation with a woman that I met about certain struggles that she experiences during sex and intimacy. And I've had endless conversations like this with so many women. And I think it's really important to give visibility to these topics and to remove shame from our collective struggles and personal struggles around sexuality and bring a little bit more understanding and compassion. So that's what this episode is going to be dedicated to. If you're new in the space, welcome. My name is Zion de Castro. I am a womb guide, feminine embodiment facilitator, and emotional healing facilitator. And a big part of my work and even my own personal journey has been and is dedicated to sexual healing, actually, and deepening into our relationship with our bodies and intimacy, which is way beyond physical. It actually is rooted in our somatic and emotional capacity to feel, receive, and express pleasure and life. Ultimately, sexuality is one of the most controversial, magnetic, intense, and taboo topics in the world, right? And yet there are so many things that we struggle with, men, women, everyone, and we don't talk about it. Definitely don't talk about it enough, because a lot of us carry immense amounts of shame around certain issues that we experience with our sexuality. And as I said in my last episode, shame melts away when we expose it to light, when we look at it, when we witness it, when we share it. And so I want to bring up this topic, and please let me know in the comments if this resonates, if you experience any of the following things I'm going to share, or if you have. And I hope that it makes you feel seen and that it maybe gives you some insights. Something that a lot of women struggle with is having a lot of tightness around their vulva and their vaginal canal and all around their pelvis, really. And I would even go as far as saying in their whole bodies. And even pain during intercourse and the triggers in intimate moments with their partners or even by themselves, and feeling disconnected from their pleasure and feeling shame and feeling guilty and lots of things, right? And I just want to say, if you are experiencing these things, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. And that's the most important thing, to deeply integrate and receive in your being and in your body. There's nothing wrong with you. Even if you don't know why you feel that way, why you have those responses in your body, why there's so much tension, why there's certain sensations, emotions, or triggers, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. Could they be connected to past traumas, wounds, and unresolved pain from the past? Yeah, absolutely. But that still doesn't mean that you have a problem or that you need to be fixed. You're not a project. You're a human being. And your body is just a mirror of your life experiences, including all of the beauty and the magic and the pleasure. And of course, she is an oracle for you. And she's gonna tell you when something's off, or maybe it's not about what's happening in the moment, but maybe it's just a memory that lives in your body. Maybe at some point you felt like it was not safe to open, like it was not safe to let love in, to be close to someone else. to let yourself be seen, to let yourself feel, to let life reach you. And that's very valid. There's a lot of reasons why you might feel that way, or why sexuality might not feel completely safe to certain parts of you. And a lot of women, it's like they have these reactions and they don't understand. And that can really mess with your mind. And I understand it because that actually happened to me as well in the beginning of my healing journey around my sexual trauma. And I also want to encourage you to trust your body. If you are experiencing any of these things, even in the slightest, to trust yourself, trust your body, that she knows. And sometimes in our healing process, we need to understand logically what happened, or what we need, or the messages that our bodies have for us. Other times, healing doesn't require that logical understanding. So I really want to encourage you to drop that and to let whatever needs to come to your rational awareness come, and whatever doesn't have to come, to just not. Because you can still create a lot of healing and alignment and freedom and security in your body without that, if that's your process. So it's very personal, actually, for everyone. And it's very delicate and intricate when we're talking about sexual blockages and trauma and issues. There's a lot of vulnerability there. And also, it's important to remember that it's not just personal. Like, for sure, there are personal experiences that affect how we feel in our bodies, in our yonis, in our womb, in our sexuality, in our intimacy, in our relationships. That's a big part. Another part is also collective trauma and pain, and conditioning and patriarchy, and all these things, objectification. Like, we come from history of being used and abused and mistreated and violated in lots of ways. And that is felt. That's felt in the body. As well as, by the way, as I said before, we also carry the wisdom and the gifts and the superpowers of our ancestors. So let's not forget about that, just as a side note. But it makes a whole lot of sense that you might be struggling with your sexuality. And I want you to just be curious. Just be curious. And I know it's really hard. Like, sometimes it's really hard with sexual healing. I think it's one of the most challenging healing journeys, because it just also can be really uncomfortable in the body, like the sensations and everything. And sometimes processing certain things that happened, sometimes it's really hard sometimes to accept it, to be willing to see it, how it can change your life or your relationship to certain people who might have participated or enabled those painful things to happen. So it takes a great deal of courage. But this is another thing that I was saying to a friend of mine a few days ago, working through this in a session. I think in the long run, it takes a lot more energy and suffering even to just have that constant unresolved feeling in your body, that tension or those triggers, than to look at it directly with love and bring it closer to you. It's an uncomfortable temporary moment, and it's worth it because you get to experience something different on the other side, feeling safe in your body and connected and open and soft and free, connected to yourself, secure, instead of just continuing to feel that heaviness. So all this to say, in your own timing, in your own way, respecting your rhythms, respecting your boundaries, but still, I really want you to let yourself go there. And another note that I want to add, that doesn't mean go do it by yourself without any training or any support or someone holding space for you. I don't necessarily recommend that at all, actually. I really recommend that you work with a prepared facilitator who is also trauma healing facilitator. Very important. And if you feel called to reach out to me, you're very welcome to do so. You can find me on Instagram at Zion De Castro. And that is something that I actually do facilitate in my one-on-one containers. It's really important to have the right kind of support and the right kind of safe space to go into these things. So this talk today is not about going into that. It's just about shining light into this topic and saying it's okay. And here are some of the reasons why you might be feeling that way. And here is a new approach, right? Here's a new way to look at it. This is an opportunity to become more free in your body, to feel more safe in your body, and to feel more intimately connected to yourself, especially emotionally. And I can promise you how it feels on the other side is beyond your imagination right now. It's like, I remember I had no register in my mind how it would feel. This safety in my body. I feel so grounded. I didn't even know what this was like. I couldn't have a reference. I couldn't even have asked for it. Like I was asking for peace, for a feeling of safety, for feeling free in my body and with my emotions. But I didn't really know how it felt. And I didn't even know how long it was going to take. Like, honestly, my healing journey was a wild ride and continues on. But now it's just stabilized, and my baseline and my feeling in my body every day is just so connected to earth element. I feel so stable and connected to my feminine energy and just very clear about things. And honestly, for me, that happened when I really dove into womb work and feminine embodiment, which is also why I became so passionate about it, and I started to make it the main focus in my work, and why I'm here talking about it to you, because it's really, really powerful, and it's about ancient wisdom and ancient knowings that all of us really carry deep within our bodies. It's all about just coming back to primordial innocence in the body, and that's something that all of us can do. So that is possible for you. So if you've been struggling with your sexuality, I want you to know that it doesn't have to be like that forever. It can be different, and you don't have to change yourself, and you don't have to fix yourself, and it's okay that you feel that way. And your body is wise, and your body wants the best for you. And if she's giving you those messages, it's because you're ready, and it's because she needs you to hear her, right? And to honor her. And that's another thing that I want to say before I close this conversation. Sometimes the body knows things that we don't rationally see, or that we don't want to see. And I've noticed this even just watching friends around me and observing myself in my past relationships, that sometimes the body just feels like something's off, right? And it doesn't even have to be in a sexual setting, like just in life, when something just feels off, or you feel tense in your body, or contraction, or like resistance. Yeah, sure, it can be like projections and triggers and whatnot, but a lot of the times it's just a knowing, like your body is picking up on energy around you. Your body's picking up on things that your mind is not even prepared to do, or that your mind doesn't even want to. So sometimes when we are intimate with someone physically, the body is not, your body is not against you when it shuts down. Your body is actually for you. Your body is actually alerting you that something really is off. Sometimes with that person, or with your relationship with that person, or maybe the way things are being done. Sometimes it's just that you don't want to be touched in a certain way, or you don't want to engage in a certain way, and it's okay to just listen. Other times it's got to do with trauma. but it's still important to lean in and listen. So for me, the key is to maintain that curiosity and to prioritize staying connected to how you feel in your body and how you feel emotionally. It's not about a performance. You don't have to continue with whatever you were doing with someone else or by yourself. It's more important to stay connected with what's real, what's the real response in your body. That's going to ensure that whatever you do is authentic and whatever you do actually feels safe. And it's a powerful message that you can give to yourself, that you can trust yourself, because you literally show up for yourself when you need it. Your body knows. Your body knows. And you're perfect just the way you are. And there's, again, so many of us that have struggled with these things. And pleasure is your birthright. Let's not forget about that. And that's the original frequency of your womb. It's literally life force, like the bountiful life that emanates from the earth, rich soil and waters, fire. All of that lives in your womb. It lives in your body. And it's also really important to remember that that's something you can look at to get a reflection of yourself and not identify yourself with the blockages that you're feeling or the challenges that you're experiencing, because that's not you. You are that beautiful creative life force. You are that healing sensuality that restores the nervous system. You are all that love that lives inside of your womb and inside of your body. And the more that you give yourself permission to be with her, with your body, the more you will tap into that. Thank you so much for being here. I would love to hear your insights in the comments. Let me know. Send me a DM if you want. You can share a little more. And again, if you feel called to go deeper into this, I am here. Just reach out to me. And make sure to follow this podcast to stay connected for future episodes. And I hope this lands beautifully. And I'm looking forward to talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.